Success! Ano ba ang success sa iyo? Material na bagay? Pera? Kotse? Bahay? Engranding bakasyon? Trip sa ibang bansa? Tenan at pag-usapan ng isang bagay na makaka-relate ang lahat. Success! Paano nga ba maging successful sa lahat ng larangan ng buhay? Samahan niyo kami tuwing Sabado at mag-usap tayo sa Success TV! Ang bagong negosyo. Saan mang bahagi o aspeto ka na ng buhay ngayon? Tenan at manood ng Success TV! Ang bagong negosyo sa RH TV.
Welcome po sa ating programa Success TV sa RH TV. Gusto kong batiin kayong lahat ng Merry Christmas. Hindi kasi September na.
Tama, Cheska.
Burr months.
Hi everybody and welcome to Success TV. And again, we're going to bring you a very, very powerful show today and a powerful episode. Kasi katulad ng ginagawa nga natin, meron na naman tayong pag-uusapan na napakaganda.
Pero bago tayo pumunta dyan, syempre, pinapakilala, hello, hindi niyo pa ba kami kilala? Sikat na sikat kami. Jessica San Diego, ang host niyo sa Success TV, and my partner.
Yes, this is John Calub and hi to everybody.
Kamusta naman, Sir John? May balita ako.
Balita mo.
Parang 6 days lang tayong hindi nagkita
Oo
naka-fly ka na pala sa ibang lugar na
Yes.
malayo. Hindi ka malang nagsama.
Well, I just arrived all the way from the US. Kadarating ko lang talaga, no?
Kaya pala, Amay States.
At napaka-special talaga ng Success
Okay.
TV kasi, you know, I had to fly and make it all the way dito sa show today.
Diba? Ganyan katindi ang preparation ng Success TV. Kailangan may training kami outside the country.
Yes. Alam mo, I go outside the country not just to do mga trainings and isa sa mga ginagawa ko kasi medyo adventurous ako. Kaya nga sabi nung t-shirt ko, di ba? I am adventurous.
Alam mo, parang hindi ko alam kung, syempre may mga ritual tayo every matatapos yung ano. Hindi ko alam kung pag sinot ko yun, mapaninindigan ko yun.
Alam mo, ginagawa ko, I go out of the country and sabi nga natin sa success, you must always have fun, di ba?
Oo
Hindi
naman.
dapat boring yung buhay natin. So,
Tsaka dapat yata may variety.
tama. So, kadalasan I look for ways na talagang mga extreme ways kung paano
Okay.
ako mag-i-enjoy.
Extreme ways of enjoyment.
Exactly.
Ano na ba yung mga bagay na pinaka-extreme o pinaka-weird na bagay na nagawa mo sa buhay mo? Meron na ba?
Well, yung isa sa mga hindi ko makakalimutan na ginawa ko is pumunta ako ng Macau before. At nandun yung tinatawag na fourth tallest communication tower in the world. No?
Okay.
Nandito yung pinakamataas na bungee jump sa buong mundo. This is part of the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay.
Now, that is more than 60 floors. Now, aakyat ka dun sa tuktok at dun mo masusubukan gaano ka talaga katibay.
So, tatalong ka talaga doon sa building na yon? Ginawa mo yon?
Ano nakakatawa niyan, pumunta ako dun sa Macau, nag-antay ako ng isang buong araw para may tumalon kasi gusto ko sana may mapanood muna akong tatalon, di ba?
Siyempre naman, kahit sino naman siguro.
Para lang tumaas yung kumpiyansa mo sa
confidence
sarili
level,
mo.
oo.
Pero alam mo ba, wala talagang tumatalon.
Okay.
Siguro sobra talagang nakakatakot.
Hindi ka nag-back out.
Hindi, ang ginawa ko, bumalik ako the next day.
Okay.
And yun na, sinubukan ko na talagang tumalon. Kaya lang, actually, nung nandun na ako, doon ko na-feel talaga yung ano,
Adrenaline rush?
Yung adrenaline rush.
Pero question, di ba pagka ikaw ay pumunta doon, tatalon ka, you pay for it.
Yes, oo.
Ah, di ba? Laking kalokohan ito.
So, ang ginawa ko, parang wala na atrasan, binayaran ko na, laki ng bayad.
Ang malaki din ang bayad, okay.
Na pagbayad ko, syempre, nabigay mo na yung fee.
Wala nang bawian.
Wala nang bawian. So, it's
Sayang.
either you jump or wala na, di ba? But it was very exciting kasi nung nandun na ako, doon ko talaga nakita yung parang you're on top of the world. Kumbaga sa success,
Chal.
para ka nang nandun sa...
Rurok ng tagumpay.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly. Pero bukod dyan, ang dami ko pang sinubukan na mga extreme
na
stuff na
bagay.
like, one of the things I did indoor skydiving. Sa Hollywood naman yun, no? So parang may malaking fan doon sa ilalim and ililipad ka niya 30 feet.
Okay.
This is parang testing mo na to kung kakayanin mo mag-skydive. Pero yung actual na gagawin mo doon, yung movements, talagang
More or
pang
less
sky.
ganun din.
Oh, ganun na rin yung
Okay.
parang actual ka nag-skydive. Now, sobrang scary din siya. But then again, pag natawid mo kasi yung sarili mo na gawin yung ganun, lalong tumataas yung confidence mo.
Tama.
Pero walang tatalo doon sa huling ginawa ko nitong huling punta ko.
Eto lang? Etong hindi tayo nagkikita?
Alam mo ginawa ko? Ito
Okay,
medyo
malaman. Okay,
mawidan
okay,
ka.
game.
Nag-aaral ako ng tinatawag na fire eating. Fire eating.
Bibiruin sana kita kasi kung may extreme kang ginagawa, ako sabi ko, hindi, kumakain ako ng apoy, ng bubog, ng blade. ng kanin.
Malamang.
Extreme, di ba? Hindi, ginawa mo talaga siya kumain ka ng apoy.
Meron kasing tinatawag na event sa Amerika, yung Burning Man. It's a gathering, para itong gathering ng lahat ng mga, alam mo yung mga fire dancers?
Okay.
Yun. So, meron akong naging kaibigan, ang ginagawa niya, nagtuturo siya kung paano mag-fire
Yung
eating. Oo. So, sabi ko, an ordinary person like me, pwede ko bang matutunan yan? So, I went all the way there sa Fremont. Actually, this is actually in San Francisco, in California. And I trained for about a couple of days. And talagang grabe. Kasi pag sinawsaw mo na pala yung metal rod dun sa kerosene at tinapat mo yung apoy, sobrang init niya. Dun mo talaga dapat pagkatiwalaan yung lakas ng loob mo.
Okay.
Kasi it's either masunog ka or talagang isubo mo na yung apoy para mamatay siya.
Pag sinusubo mo yung apoy, ang papatay sa kanya, laway lang?
Actually, hindi. Yung scientific explanation
Ang weird ko magtanong.
behind it is pagpasok nung flame doon sa mouth mo, isasara mo yung bibig mo, kakagatin mo yung actually may rope kasi na nasusunog no. Pagkagat mo doon, magla-lock in yung mouth mo. So yung oxygen mawawala. Oo, magsa-stop. So since walang oxygen, mawawalan ng apoy, di ba?
So, hindi
automatic
ito magic.
siya. Oo. Kaya lang ang dapat mo
Sabon!
sa next episode.
Sabon!
Pero yung
Pakilabas nga yung gasera dyan.
siguro one of these days mag-live
Magsasample.
dito tayo, magagawa tayo ng
Pero please lang, utang na loob din tayo sa labas. Mahirap masunog ang istasyon. Wala tayong trabaho lahat.
Pero alam mo ba, Cheska,
Speaking of,
these adventure activities na kadalasan ginagawa natin, meron tayong special guest today na nabalitaan ko, mas matindi pa.
oo nga
Yung
parang
kanyang
hindi
mga
ko
ginagawa.
kaya yung leveling niya.
Oo nga. Itong isang adventurer na to, mamaya makikilala natin siya. And siguro ang maganda dito, maririnig natin sa kanya paano niya piniprepare yung sarili niya to do
Okay.
all of these extreme outdoor activities.
Like, gaano ba ka-extreme yung pinag-uusapan natin?
Yes, so mamaya gusto natin siguro mas maganda marinig na natin direkta sa
Oo
kanya,
nga.
no?
At kung napapansin nyo, itong kanina pa namin katabi, ano ba ito?
Yeah.
Tarpaulin pala ito. Pag nakita nyo yan, so may gwapong lalaki at sa likod niya, parang clouds yata yun.
Oo nga, po, mataas-taas nung
Oo
inakyat
nga.
niya, no?
Parang ano,
Meron kasi
scary.
siyang sinasabing gagawin na expedition. Ito yung yung nakalagay sa kanyang tarpaulin, yung tinatawag na South Pole Expedition 2010.
Okay.
Where he will try and break some records. No?
Okay.
So, yun ang gusto nating malaman at paano ba niya hinahanda yung sarili niya para maging successful dito sa isang very, very daring event na ito.
Tama. Kasi kung matatandaan natin, si Garduce,
Oo.
na umakyat naman sa Everest, I think, kung
Yes.
natatandaan natin, Everest. At may cause din siya kung bakit siya umakyat doon. For Guinness lang ba yun? Di naman, ano?
Hindi lang. At kasama na dyan yung pagtataguyod ng pagiging nating Pilipino.
Okay, so itong South Pole Expedition 2010, alamin natin mamaya para saan ba ito? Para sa kagandahan ko ba?
At malay mo,
Para
maging
dun lang.
barkada pa natin siya at siyang magdadala sa atin sa mga
Sa mga lugar na ganyan?
Yes.
Busy ako.
kasama ang ating camera crew.
Tama. Sama kayo, ikaw.
At akit tayo sa mga bundok at tatalon sa mga airplano.
So, excited na tayong lahat. Pag-uusapan natin yan after lamang ng ating maikling commercial break. Excited ka na ba, Sir John?
Yes, definitely. Right? So, please stay tuned dito sa ating TV show, sa Success TV. At huwag kayong maglilipat ng channel and we'll be back and you will meet this very, very wonderful person at makakuha rin kayo ng lakas ng loob galing sa kanya.
Okay. At tayo nagbabalik sa ating programa Success TV dito po sa RHTV. Kanina, ito kasama ko pa rin si Sir John at kanina.
Hi, everybody.
Kinukumbinsi kasi ako na mag-engage sa mga extreme na ganyan. Ewan ko talaga. Pero if ever, I think on October, you will be having a training, a workshop.
Ito yung tinatawag na the Firewalk Bootcamp kung saan yung mga participants at the end of the seminar, pinalalakad namin sa isang bed na 10 feet long, no? na puro glowing red hot coals, more than 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
So, nagbabagang-baga ito.
Yes.
Okay.
At isa-isa ko kayong palalakarin doon.
Kayo?
Kasama
me? Okay.
And sabi mo nga, if ever, that will be your, I guess, your first, no?
Oo
First
nga, oo, if ever.
shot at doing something really very daring.
Oo nga. So, September ngayon, sana November ng kasunod. Nawala yung October.
Oh, but I don't want to steal the show right now because as you well know, Cheska, meron tayong special guest ngayon. So, let me start siguro by introducing him to you.
Okay.
And of course, sa lahat ng mga viewers natin ngayon. Itong tao na to is golf pro by profession. In fact, magugulat kayo because he actually owns a golf school that trains yung mga tinatawag na elite golfers.
Galing, no?
Oo, napakagaling.
Social.
Alam mo yung golf
Ibang
talagang
level.
maganda yan. Gusto ko nga matuto niyan. Baka ito nang hinahanap natin na
Tama.
pwedeng mag-share sa atin ng
Matututo tayo mag-golf.
wisdom and skills kung para tayo makakapag-golf. Kasi ibang golf lang yung alam ko eh.
Okay.
Ay, ibang show yata yung sa usapang lalaki yata. Golf.
Iba yun.
So, ngayon, itong guest natin, bukod sa i-share niya sa atin yung passion niya sa golf, meron siyang magandang dadalhin sa atin sa show natin ngayon because tayo yung mag-feature sa kanya regarding his being an adventurer. Isa siyang extreme outdoor athletes.
Yun ang pinakakahintay-hintay ko dun eh.
And he's really very, very passionate dito sa ginagawa niya, no? So, ito yung mga engaging in very, very daring activities.
Tsaka dangerous, ha? Kahit
Dangerous
paano.
din, no?
Dangerous, oh.
And right now, he's going to share with us a vision, not only for the Philippines, but for the rest of the world.
Okay, so may dahilan talaga, matinding dahilan bakit ginagawa niya itong mga extreme activities na to.
Exactly. So, wag na natin patagalin, Cheska. Let's all welcome Mr. Coach Bobby Del Castillo.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me here.
Sir Bobby, okay lang ba na tawagin na lang namin kayo ni Cheska ng Sir Bob?
Just call me Coach.
Oh, Coach!
Coach
Okay,
Bob.
Coach.
Okay.
Coach Bob. All right.
Okay.
The coach trains here.
Yes.
Wow.
So, siguro...
Parang dyan mo ko ititrain. Parang nagdalawang isip ako, sir. Okay.
So let's start siguro sir by asking you about your first line no na kung saan kayo naging popular yung tinatawag na pag-golf ninyo.
Actually, I represent a golf school from the United States. It's called the Heartland Golf Schools, where we have about 80,000 alumni. We believe it's the largest golf school in the world. I'm actually based in Thailand, where I have this school, Heartland Golf School, but I'm also a founder of the governing body of golf in Asia. It's called the PGA of Asia,
PGA.
Professional Golf Association of
Wow.
Asia.
All right.
So this association governs all of the golf in Asia. And lately, last week, we had one of the biggest tournaments for juniors. It's called the Hank Haney International Junior Tournament, where the best of our future golf champions had a competition, and the winners will go to China in December to compete with the rest of the Asian kids. And whoever wins that will earn a scholarship in the United States, in South Carolina, where you have a place called the Hilton Head, which has 24 golf courses, and this kid will be there for 1 year to train with the best golf teacher in the world, and then hopefully become a world champion.
Wow.
Galing, elite na elite,
amazing,
no?
oo nga. Kami ba
Pwede kami mag-enroll?
Yes, of course.
kaya lang beginners pa lang kami sir.
No,
Pwede
no
ba yun?
problem, John. Like I was mentioning earlier, it takes 15 minutes for me to tell you everything that I know about golf, and then perhaps a whole lifetime to perfect it.
Wow.
Statement.
Hindi naman pala kailangan ng sobrang tagal eh.
No. Actually, this is where we differentiate ourselves from other golf teachers. You know, we don't prolong the teaching experience. We say here, double V in the middle, just rotate like a barbecue stick on a single axis, and you know, that's it.
Sir, matanong ko lang sir, in Manila, in the Philippines, do you also have like an arm here that does the training for golf?
Yes, I have two very good golf teachers that were actually trained in Thailand, and we base ourselves whenever to recession-proof our industry. We are pretty much virtual. So right now we're based in Santa Rosa, Laguna, in a place called South Forbes Golf Course. They call it actually the Golf City, and so we believe that this is probably the best place to train our future champions because it's a short course, but very tricky and it's very difficult, so a lot of people sort of have a tendency to kind of call it a Mickey Mouse golf course, but in fact it's really very challenging. And this is the same training area where we hope to be able to send our kids to China.
Alam mo, Cheska, parang tingin ko kasi sa golf, hindi lang siya source ng, of course, relaxation and as a sport. Ang tingin ko kasi dyan, sir, parang it's also a good way to connect with very good, sabihin na natin mga professionals or mga top executives, di ba?
Yes. You know, there is this thing that it's only for the rich, and it looks like an easy game. But two things. Number one, our aim is to actually bring it down to a critical mass, you know, to the grassroots level. My vision is to one day hope to have golf as a PE, golf, NCAA golf, UAAP golf. You know, those are the things that we're working on. And then to actually have a Bayani program where we can have those who are underprivileged learn to, you know, to play golf. And to actually say that golf, being a mental game, could actually enhance your being if you learn it because you apply it through your life.
Yun nga, so parang ang golf pala is just like any other sport na pwedeng isama sa curriculum. Kasi nga pag sinabi natin, anong sports mo? Anong sport mo?
Correct.
Golf. Social mo naman, mayaman.
Correct.
Bakit nagkaroon ng konsepto ng ideology na pag marunong ka mag-golf, pang mayaman lang ang golf?
Well, one of the things about it is because it's a very, very difficult game. It's very difficult to master. It's a mental game. I would actually say it's 95% mental, 5% swing. So a lot of people burn out from this. And for those who actually stayed and played golf, it's for those who could afford the caddy fees, the green fees, you know, the clubs and so forth. But for those countries that are doing well in golf right now, like Korea, Japan, India, it's only because they brought it down to the grassroots level as a PE. And they made it available to everybody through driving ranges and actually bringing the golf to the schools. And with that, they were able to quickly gain critical mass. And then we say also that competition as the catalyst of growth dictates that the more competition that you participate in, then the better you get. So sila yung maraming competition. So in the Philippines, we're trying to enhance, you know, the competitive spirit by pretty much going nationwide. I hope by
kasi parang
2011.
very selected lang yung naglalaro ng golf.
Ganda yung vision niya, sir, para masubukan din siya ng mga, you know, ordinary people. And
Correct.
who knows, baka nga the next world champion can just come from, you know, yung mga ordinary people coming from ordinary ranks,
Kasi kasama na siya sa PE.
Yes. So,
Actually, the number one golfer, his name is Tongchai Jaidi from Thailand. He came from a very poor family. He's actually an army officer. He worked his way up, and then now he gives back to the game of golf by having a golf school only for underprivileged children.
and I also like what he said kanina, Cheska, na it's a mind game. So again, this is
Correct.
all about yung power ng mind mo and how you can focus,
Diskarte, di ba?
diskarte, concentrate, and
May
so
ano
on.
yan, sir? May mathematical genius din mang kasama yan.
Yes, in a sense, because we are in the business of micromillimeters. The ball is so small, the club head is so small, and then to actually apply a golf swing, I would always tell them, look, this is a microcosm of life. So the entire universe is actually down to one swing, and once executed, you forget about it and go to the next swing. So it's like in everyday life, you make a decision, you make a choice, and so you live with it. Good or bad, it's done.
Tama. Kailangan kalkulado mo ang buhay.
Correct.
Sakto.
Sakto.
So itaas naman natin ngayon. We also heard that you don't only engage in golf. You have, you know, yung mga higher level types of sports and outdoor activities. Sir, can you mention some of the things that you've already engaged in when we talk about itong
Sure.
mga extreme stuff na to?
Sure. I make my bread and butter from golf, but I actually am an extreme elite athlete simply because where I grew up in Australia, it was very tough to make friends at that time because I was the only Asian guy in Sydney when I was growing up. So in order for me to actually have friends or even girlfriends, you know, I had to excel in academics and I had to excel in sports, Australia being a very competitive country. So one of the things that I used to do was actually climb mountains, walk in the deserts, you know, do surfing and stuff like that. But at the same time, I was the only kid, the brown kid, playing in the golf course. So this level of competition was ingrained when I was a kid growing up, and lately I found out that this is something that I really like to do. My passion is golf, but my adrenaline, satisfaction comes from doing something really. Perhaps what the normal guy wouldn't do, which is something very dangerous. So, blending it with the things that I believe in, I came to the conclusion that one day, all of my dreams as a kid would be actually to culminate in places like the South Pole, for example.
Now, that's very, very, kumbaga, mataas talagang pangarap, no?
Talaga ambisyon. Sobra!
So, sir, before we go there, like, can you give specific activities that you have already engaged in?
Well,
you mentioned some during our casual conversation.
yes.
Ano nga yung mga...
I love this T-shirt. I am adventurous.
Yes.
As a form of adventure, I do level 5 kayaking, which means that I jump
Kayaking.
out of waterfalls. I go on very turbulent rivers to actually go.
So ito yung parang bangka siya naman. For single lang ba makakasakay dito, sir? Isa lang?
Only one, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so
And
it's made of...
It's actually made of plastic and with an apron so that it's waterproof. And with this, you actually go down very fast rivers. We call it level 5. There's level 1 to 5. The level 1 is just too an easy, basic.
Okay.
Ito
But
na yung
level
parang-
5 is you jump out of waterfalls. You go on very in rapids actually. So those are some of the things I do. I do zipline mountain bike, which means that I go from the top of the mountain. I go technical. Hopefully you'll have some of my pictures where it shows me actually crossing a steel bridge over a mountain, going through a corner of the mountain. You can't go on the road, so you just go in the corner at that speed. You sit at the back in the wheel, so you're traveling at about 100-120 kilometers per hour down the mountain.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a certain level of mountain bike that I do.
Oh, yun yung
Just when I
adrenaline
thought I was already adventurous.
Oo nga. Alam
Eto
mo,
matindi.
nahiya ako eh. Napaka ng buhay ko, napaka-safe.
Yes. Sir, so let's go to your latest adventure
Yes.
trip that you are
Correct.
like envisioning to accomplish.
Okay.
Sir, let's start siguro with this photo you have here.
Yes.
Sir, this looks very high. Saan po ba ito?
This shot was taken at the top of or the summit of Mount Kinabalu, which is about 14,000 feet. Just to give you an idea how high it is, it's 1 mile higher than Mount Apo, which is the tallest mountain in the Philippines. And there, the temperature at that time was -15 because of the storm. We're above the clouds so that you can see that this is very high. I actually did this in 6 hours.
6 hours.
And then I rappelled down. Now, the reason for doing this was actually to have some kind of a communion with my maker. I was trying to fathom what I wanted to do because I've been away from the Philippines for the longest time. And so when I came back, I just wanted to know, should I go back to where I live in Thailand or should I just stay here? So I went to this mountain to ask, find out exactly what I wanted to do. When I came down, I heard that the Wilkins Shelf, which is a 10,000-year-old ice bridge, broke off in the South Pole. Now, what does that mean? The implication is this, John. If you were to add up all of the rivers in the world, like the Amazon, the Mississippi, and all the big rivers, and you multiplied it by 100, the force of the current is the same speed as to what the Antarctic is actually experiencing right now. So when the Wilkins Ice Bridge broke off, what happened was you have this force of current that's eating up into the coastline of Antarctica. Now, what's so special about Antarctica? It is 5 miles high. It is the largest ice desert. It is the last remaining source of the purest and most pristine water supply left in our planet. Now, why is it so important? Because every year, an average of about 4,000 square kilometers of ice are breaking off and going into the ocean because of global warming. Now, I wanted to highlight to the world that this is also the same place where you have the biggest ozone hole. What does an ozone hole mean, and what is the impact of that to us Filipinos here? Well, number one, we are not the biggest sinners as far as global warming is concerned. Carbon emissions, the Philippines is very small compared to the United States, China, or India, which are the major developing countries, if not the developed countries. But we are subject to the effects of global warming, like the ondoys and lately the El Niños, La Niñas, and the stuff
Hindi
that we're
tayo
experiencing.
exempted.
Hindi tayo exempted. So my question is, why is it that we don't have a group of scientists that are actually in the South Pole to monitor what's happening meteorological wise, so that we can be proactive rather than reacting to weather conditions and weather patterns? So these are some of the issues that I wanted to bring up with you today, so that we could at least give our nation some kind of a platform where we can say, okay, we know what's going to happen, and let's have the awareness rather than just talking about it. Why don't we do something about it proactively?
So you're doing this expedition, parang meron kayong vision na gustong ma-accomplish for this.
Correct.
Specifically for this
Yes.
expedition. Is this the first time you're going out on public and announcing something as daring and as as big as this na gagawin niyo po?
Yes, I have. That's an excellent question, John, and I have two answers for this. Number one, let's talk about the vision. We have a 4-point vision as far as the South Pole expedition is concerned. One is that we would like to declare that the South Pole be the first line of defense against global warming, simply because this is the place where it's so profound and so dramatic in terms of climate change. You see it every day, ice breaking and things like that. No? Secondly, we'd like our country to become a signatory to the Antarctic Treaty, because the original signatories are 13 only. This place does not belong to anybody. This is an open country. It's actually a natural preserve. And so we're saying, why is it that we as a nation who are actually getting the brunt of global warming not have a say, or at least a team of scientists observing what's happening in the South Pole, so that we can bring this data and process it? No? So we'd like our country to become at least a consultant to the original Antarctic Treaty. You can become a signatory of that. So that's the second vision. The third vision is actually to gather 1 million prayer petitions from our country and deliver it there, in order to say, okay, we want to do something about climate change. So that's pretty much what I'm here for, to gather prayer petitions.
Wow.
So yun yung action, not just making people aware na, okay, may climate change pala, ganon.
Correct. Because we are known as a prayer nation. So my question is, could we, as a prayer nation, come together one more time to pray not just for our nation, but actually for the whole world, and do something about climate change, so that we could preserve our future generations? And then, of course, my last vision is to try to attempt to break 2 world records. The first world record is 39 days for a solo trip to the South Pole, and then the other one is 33 days for a group expedition. So I aim to travel about 45 to 50 kilometers a day for 30 days in a row to try to break those 2 records.
Wow! Grabe, tagal
Wow.
nun. Really?
Kumbaga, if you'll be able to do that, bonus na lang yon.
Correct. Actually, everybody's saying, just go there and come back, and you're
Okay
the
na
first
yun.
Filipino to have
Oo.
made it to the sun. That's good enough. But as an adrenaline junkie, I
not,
owe it to
diba?
myself to make an attempt to try and break it, because I'll be traveling about 1,170 kilometers as the crow flies. If I was to avoid water or crevices, maybe it will go to about 1,400.
Wow.
So
pupunta ka doon ng hindi lang pala naglalakad ng parang namamasyal.
Okay, so sir, before we can continue, we're going to just pause for a
Commercial break.
short break, and stay tuned, because he's going to give us more tips on how pwede niyong lakasan yung loob niyo para maging adventurous din kayo, tulad ni Sir or ni Coach Bob. Alright, so we'll see you.
Kayo po ay nanonood pa rin ng Success TV sa RHTV, kasama si Cheska Santiago at ang aking partner.
Welcome back. Now, Cheska, I guess let's probe deeper naman dito sa mind ni Sir, no? Let's see kung ano pa ba yung makukuha natin na tips and advice sa kanya. But before that, maybe let's ask
Oo,
him.
meron akong tatanong kasi Expedition 2010. So this year mangyayari yan. Kailan ka, sabihin ko bang aakyat?
Okay, well, my expedition begins next week. Actually, I leave for New Zealand for my medical emergency training, which is about hypothermia. So there in New Zealand, I will be jumping without my clothes inside ice to prepare my body for shock. You know, so the temperature now in New Zealand is about -40, and so I will be doing that one. I need to have survival trainings. That means medevac without medevac for at least 2 weeks, and then cross country skiing. So, and then to bulk up a little bit more. So,
Sir, when you talk about hypothermia, well, we've always heard it on TV, especially sa mga umakyat na mga bundok or yung mga nahuhulog sa cold waters.
Ito yung...
What is this exactly?
well, in relation to South Pole, if I fall in water, I have 10 seconds to get out of water, or I will perish in 15 seconds. So that means to say, I release my harness, jump out of the water. So my training would be without static, without walang buwelo. Pwede akong tumalon as high as this portion through the power of my legs. Otherwise, it's just going to be too cold. So out of the water, change into clothes, dry clothing, and then hunker down so you can get your body heat back. So
kasama sa training yun.
kasama sa
Pag
training,
hindi- pag
15
hindi nyo
seconds.
nagawa yun, sir, no? Talagang mag-freeze kayo to death.
Correct.
So that's really how dangerous this is.
Well, just to give you an example, how to deal with cold is that at the end of every day, I'm actually injecting my toes so that I can feel. I inject saline solution to my toes para po magkaroon ng pakiramdam ulit because I'll be trekking about 50 kilometers a day. So manhid na siya tapos malamig pa. So dito po nag-uumpisa yung mga frostbite. It comes out like a very small tiny pinhead, and before you know it, in 1 or 2 days your foot's black and you can't. You have no. The winds are so fast, John, that if I called for a mayday, they cannot send me a medevac right away until the wind dies down. So survival training means that I have to be prepared to survive for at least 2 weeks without medevac.
So, ikaw lang mag-isa talaga, sir. Sa mga pagkakataong gano'n.
So
Wala ba?
magpapalaki pa kayo ng katawan, sir. Sabi nyo, kailangan kayo maging buff.
You know, kasi kinakain yun ng lamig yung katawan mo. So, baka sa New Zealand pa lang, the 13 kilos I gained and another 13 kilos that I want to gain. I'm normally 70 kilos, but I have to be 100 kilos for this expedition. Kakainin yan within 2 to 3 weeks. So, I live on a special diet of 8,000 calories per meal, eating twice a day. I'm up against 100 kilometers per hour winds on a good day. On a very bad day, it could be as fast as 300. I'm working on an incline of 50 degrees. I'm pulling a sled of 150 kilos every day. And so you need to be able to pull it and lift it. So yung training ko is to actually do deadlifts, squats, like 200 kilos. So ang training program ko is about 4 hours every day where I lift weights and I actually run. I use a special machine that simulates a sled. So this angle, kasi sa bilis ng hangin, pag natumba ka, it's very difficult to get up. From 0 speed to say 7 kilometers per hour, you're sliding on ice. So it's expending a lot of energy. So you want to stay at a certain angle. You want to keep going. You don't want to stop. Kala mo nagpapahinga ka lang pero you have lactic acid buildup. So part of what I do is when I get into my tent 2 hours every day, I'm just stretching so that I can flush out the lactic acid and the synovial fluid that builds up on your joints, because the next day you won't be able to get up. So those are some of the things that I face.
Okay.
So
So, gano'n ka nagpe-prepare, sir? Gano'n yung training mo? Daig pa pala spak yun.
Sir, sabi nyo nga diet, pero pag nandun na kayo sa South Pole, anong pagkain doon?
I have a ready-made pre-mixed drink.
So, may mga baon, may mga baon kayo.
Yeah, I have ready-made packs of food, and that comprises the 150 kilos that
Di
I'm
ba pwede
pulling.
magdala ng dilata dyan? Siyempre, lata ka din, oh.
You wouldn't have any time,
Oh, parang
actually.
yun ang na-imagine ko, meron kayong dilata.
Sa normal na tao, di ba? Parang ano yung kakainin mo for 30
It's a
days?
puree. It's 8,000 calories per pack. I just drop it in hot water and I drink it. Let me give you an example what 8,000 calories look like. It's just a small pouch, pero para kang uminom ng melted butter. Kasi it's all animal fat plus protein, carbohydrates, vitamins and minerals that's in there. And I just do that twice a day.
So,
I
parang
don't have-
iniinom nyo lang siya?
Iinumin ko lang yun. Kasi wala
Anong
ka ng
lasa
time to,
dun?
to cook. Because it's difficult to start a fire. At 14,000 feet, wala na yung oxygen. So, it's hard to burn, to start a flame. So, those are some of the conditions that I'm going to be facing.
Wow.
That's really extreme.
Extreme talaga.
Siguro sa ngayon,
Hindi biro.
Pero sir, marirelate nyo pa ba, po ba itong experience ninyo at itong gagawin ninyo? Let's say sa isang viewer natin sa television, let's say I want to engage in a simple thing lang. Simple
Hindi
no?
extreme, hindi masyadong extreme.
Skydiving.
Bungee jumping.
Bungee jumping. Or any extreme sport. Ano ba po ba yung ginagawa ninyong simple? Pwede ba kayo magbigay ng advice kung ano yung pwedeng gawin ng isang normal na tao
Inspirasyon.
Now,
to inspire or to really tanggalin yung fear niya doon sa
Well,
pag-engage niya sa isang activity na ganyan?
it's very simple, and it's an excellent question because the reason for doing this is about climate change. No? And it's this. All my waste, poop and pee, bagged and brought back. So, kung ang isang tao na wala naman nakakakita is willing to do this discipline, why can't you?
Wow.
This is all about the climate change. So, ang sa akin po, gagawin ko yun because it's required of me. Pero yung sa atin, the normal discipline every day of throwing our garbage. You know, I had an interview with the GM of MMDA and I was asking him, oh sir, paano ba yun? Ano ba nangyari after the Ondoy? Sabi niya, alam mo coach, ganun pa rin. Nandun pa rin yung basura sa estero. We're having a tough time clearing it simply because people have not changed. So, yung po sinasabi namin advocacy na Climate Changers Philippines is all about a change of heart. So that we could actually begin to do something, not in South Pole, but actually in our homes, in our society, in our offices, in the studio, with a smile, with a hug, with a warm handshake, and just to tell everybody, look, you change the climate when you go into a room. And then the rest, people like me will actually bring the awareness na po.
Wow. So, ang ganda nung sinabi niya, no? Parang you can engage in activities like this, but make sure the greenness is still there.
Correct.
Yung preservation ng environment
Kasi yun
natin
nga
is
yung
still there.
essence ng ginagawa mo, di ba?
Yes.
For climate change.
Sir, meron lang ako nabasa dito sa small pamphlet na to, Climate Changers.
Yes.
Alright? So, Climate Changers. Can you expound, what is in simple terms lang, what is a climate changer?
It's actually an advocacy that I formed. I founded this together with some of my colleagues, Miss Barbie Abrogar, and then Miss Candy, and the people that are going to go with me to the South Pole through their prayers. A climate changer is a person who, with a smile, with a handshake, with a hug, is able to change the climate of this studio, of his home, of the office, of the neighborhood, of the church, everywhere where we need some warmth. So if you could genuinely reach out to somebody, it's a form of climate change. Climate changer ka na just by this very handsome smile. So, you know, ang sa akin naman,
Naka naman.
ang sa akin naman,
ganun,
sa climate change here is actually that discipline. Just to show everybody. Kasi ang plano ko dyan, pagdating doon, the ceremony is actually to touch an orb where the background is 13 flags of the signatories of the Antarctic Treaty. Doon, i-drape ko yung flag. And I'm hoping that with this act, I could unite the country to actually pray for our nation and for the whole world. So tayo yung catalyst ng change for the entire planet regarding global warming.
Cheska, narinig mo yan. Ang parang sinasabi pala ni Sir, no, yung parang the basic or first step to climate change is just, you know, being a person na yung energy mo pag dinala mo sa isang room, nagiging positive at lahat nagiging magaan, no?
yung climate. Ano?
Yes.
And sir, since ang ating show ay Success TV, eto, syempre, hindi pa nag-uumpisa yung expedition. Syempre, we are always looking forward na maging successful.
Sure.
Pero para nga sa mga nanonood sa atin, nakikinig, at sa mga simpleng mamamayan na hindi naman gumagawa ng ganyan ka-daring na bagay, masasabi ba natin na yung success na mararating mo, sir, ay mararating din nila sa kanilang buhay?
You know, that is really great. Success is relative. Now, when I talk about success, it's because going to the South Pole is a mindset. It's what I was telling you earlier when we talk about golf, that it's a mental game. John, Cheska, I'm already in the South Pole as we speak. Mentally, I'm there. Success-wise, lahat po ng nakausap ko, sinasabi lang nila, Coach, bumalik ka. Kasi, we want the Philippines to become the hope capital of the world. If something should happen to me, I technically bankrupted that. So, it's to my best interest and for the interest of the nation that I just make it there and come back. And so we could all talk about it and then perhaps bring another team of people, this time naman group, so that we could continually bring awareness of the things that are happening, and in our small way, contribute to that throughout the whole world, the positive change, and that's the real success, no? I think getting there and coming back.
Gusto ko yung sinabi
Oo
niya
nga,
na
parang yung essence ng Success TV.
oo, wala ka pa doon, wala pa siya sa South Pole, pero yung isip niya nandun na.
Yes, napakaganda.
Gusto ko yun.
Sir, if you don't mind us asking, you're an expert in all of these activities, sir. How young is Coach Bob?
I'm actually 16 years old.
Yun, no? Ayun eh.
Para ikaw lang pala.
Sir, parang tanda ko na dito.
Chronologically, I'm 57. But I have chosen 16 as the ideal age, and I hope to stay there. I am stronger now at the age of 57 than I was when I was 16. So I behave like a 16-year-old, I think like a 16-year-old, I move like a 16-year-old, minus the pimples.
Yun, no?
Think like a child pala talaga ako, no?
Kasama yun.
Think without limits! Wow! Galing!
Part yun. Bukod dyan, sir, ang preparation mo physically at
Yes.
individual ang preparation. Pero gusto ko lang itanong, are there people or institutions who back you up pagdating sa funds? Kasi magastos yan.
Yes, actually the entire budget for the South Pole expedition is 13 million. Napakamahal na, John, Jessica. It's
Na isang tao ka lang, sir.
astronomical.
Wow.
Kasi mahal talaga. It's actually paying for the airplane to send you, to pick you up, the equipment, the iridium telephone system, the GPS. Alam mo, yung gear ko lang, I had to design it myself, and I have to wear a helmet kasi sa bilis ng takbo ng mga snow, para siyang karayom. So I have to enclose my face. I welded 2 magnetic South Pole compasses para hindi na ako tatayo, dahil oras na tumayo ka, pag tinamaan ka ng hangin, babagsak ka talaga sa bilis eh. So I'm at this degree, nandyan siya, nandito, 2 GPS dito. All of this cost money. So the technological requirements for this expedition is astronomical. So ang sa akin doon, sponsorship, I have been paying the promotion, the development of the South Pole expedition up to now. I have a few companies actually backing me up. We still have a lot of work to do in order for me to actually make it to the South Pole. So the New Zealand is going to be a milestone, because it will highlight that, okay, coach is already there, he's already going through his Arctic training. So yes, we still need support from a lot of our countrymen.
Wow, that's very good. Sir, you're talking about our countrymen supporting this. You mentioned something about prayers. So sir, can you highlight more itong prayer petitions na why did you choose to have as one of your vision na yung prayer petitions makasama dito?
Simply because, John, it's free. It just takes will. It takes humility to know that there is a creator, to acknowledge that at the end of the day, everything that you do, everything that you will, actually is blessed by God. So for me, when we were trying to fathom, ano ba yung pwede kong dalhin doon? Should I bring a bandila? Should I bring, the corporate logos and stuff like that? But at the end of the day, ano yung kaya natin bilang isang Pilipino? Tinuturing natin ang bansa as a prayer nation. Kaya nga kanina, ang tanong ko, could we, as a prayer nation, come together one more time to pray not just for our country but for the entire world, so that we could preserve the future generations, no? Our water, our air, our kids, to have a better life than what we're experiencing right now. So ang sa akin yan, prayer is a form of humility. Hindi ako makakaabot sa South Pole at hindi ako makakabalik without the blessing of God. I put God forward every single moment and ask Him, Lord, make the miracles, make it happen, kasi I'm just going to walk it. You know, it's the prayer petitions of the entire nation that will propel me there. So yun ang kailangan ko po. I'm trying to raise at least 1 million. Yun po ang kasama ko pag nandun ako sa South Pole, when I'm all alone, walking.
So sir, invite na natin sila na nasamahan tayo sa... Syempre kami ni Sir Jan, magpe-pray na kami.
Sure.
Sir, balik kailan po ba ito at meron po bang website kung saan nila ito susubaybayan itong expedition ninyo?
Yes. Well, we have a website called www.lifex.ph. It's spelled as LIFEX. southpole.ph. Doon po pwede kayong, you can visit the website, you see more about the South Pole Expedition, log in and actually write your prayer petitions. No?
Oh, you can write your prayer petitions.
Yeah,
It's very good.
So that's what I will take with me. And as a parting note, I wanted to convey to everybody, especially to both of you, that our country, our people have suffered for so much over hundreds of years, and so the word that I want to use is the indomitable spirit of the Filipinos will prevail. It has, always will. We bear our chest against all and everything that comes our way, and in spite of all, we bow and we bend our knees only to God. And so I say to everybody, if I can do it with your prayers, I will walk the South Pole not alone. I am walking with the nation, and I'm saying this with all conviction. Bring it on.
All right.
Amen.
Sir, we will, Coach Bob, we will definitely pray for you.
Thank you so much.
Of course, me, Cheska,
Sir, babalik ka talaga.
Of course, I'll be here.
Pagbalik mo,
to play
i-guess
golf.
ka. Tama, tuturuan mo pa kami.
Tsaka pumunta pa tayo
Absolutely.
sa golf
Oo.
school nyo. Pero lahat kami dito, kasama ang crew, pagdadasal po namin kayo at we will wish you the best. Success TV will be there to support
Thank you so much,
on
John.
this expedition.
Thank you po.
Hope you can send us some clips also. So
Yes, of
Or
course.
in the future,
pictures,
Of course.
we can feature that in one of our episodes.
Yes, my pleasure.
So with that,
Commercial
Cheska?
break muna ulit tayo at hindi pa kami magpapaalam. Mamaya pa yon, kaya magbabalik po ang Success TV. Ayan, nagbabalik ulit tayo, Sir John. Pero this time, papaalam na naman tayo.
Oo nga pero alam mo naman, walang malungkot sa pagpapaalam natin. Laging masaya dito
There's
sa Success TV.
always good in goodbye.
Yes.
Ba yun?
Pero alam mo, Cheska, reflecting on what we had today, I was deeply inspired by our guest. Alam mo, hindi lang ito parang explorer na pupunta doon just to make a name for himself. Pero napakaganda nung sinabi niya sa atin kasi meron siyang vision, not just for the Philippines din, no? But for the rest of the world. Itong Pilipino na to, palagay ko, magiging tanyag at isang kilalang Pilipino talaga ito sa kanyang pagpunta sa South Pole.
Tsaka nakakatawa, no? Pinag-uusapan natin dito yung success. Being successful is not yung mga individual lang na gusto natin, kundi tinitake in consideration natin, syempre, wag natin kakalimutan itong mundong ginagalawan natin. Wag nating papabayaan, di ba?
At na-mention din niya yung spirituality, no?
Oo.
Yung relationship natin with God, which is also very inspiring kasi dadali niya yung mga petitions and prayers natin.
At saka sarap
dun
ng
sa
ginawa
South Pole.
niya, no? Umakyat siya sa tuktok ng bundok para tanungin sa Diyos kung ano bang plano mo sa buhay ko. Ang sarap nun!
Di ba?
Ang sarap nun!
Oo. So, with that, siguro, kailangan na nating magpaalam because we don't have so much time anymore.
Okay.
Pero alam mo ba, Cheska, may hindi ako sinasabi sa'yo.
Ano?
Bago umalis si Coach Bob, meron siyang binigay sa akin. Pero wala ka
Oo
nito.
nga, kaya pala nag-uusap kayo kanina.
Nakita mo ba yung aking band?
Baller. Ako
Yeah.
nga, wala, oh.
Alam mo
Daya.
nakalagay, I am a climate changer. Alright? And of course, nandito
Yung
uli
website nila.
website niya kung saan siya humihingi ng yung prayers natin, no, yung petitions natin dito sa lifex.ph. Now, sabi dito, climate changer, ibig sabihin, hindi lang, in relation to the environment, pero yung energy na dinadala mo kung nasan ka, lagi dapat positive.
Okay.
Diba? The energy of success. Alright, so, good news! Hindi lang isa ang binigay dahil dalawa at yung isa ay para sa'yo.
Naiya ka lang, nakakamera tayo. Siguro balak mo benta. Tigusante.
Alright. Pero,
Nakakakitaan mo na naman yung mga regalo sa atin eh.
pero ito maganda, Cheska. Ito maganda. Dahil katulad
Yan, ayaw mo ibenta.
dahil natin gagawin, bibigyan kita ng special gift today. Ito yung special t-shirt mo para
Wow.
sa next episode.
Yan ang sinasabi kong dapat ko yata talagang pangatawanan yung I Am Adventurous.
Oo.
Kasi so far yung space shuttle lang yata. Yung ano dyan.
Sa Star
yung
City.
mga rides na dyan sa Star City ang dinedare kong gawin.
Alright. So, ito para paghanda mo na yan sa October 1 sa Firewalk Bootcamp,
Oo.
yung paglakad mo sa
Oy,
Apoy.
imbitahan mo sila. Napanoorin ako.
Oo.
Panoorin ako
Panoodin
nun.
nyo yan sa episode namin. I-feature namin yon.
Now na?
Alright, so with that, we'd like to again thank all of our viewers for tuning in dito sa Success TV. And so, until next week.
Next time. May pasalamatan yung mga sponsors. Sponsors po namin ng t-shirt. Thank you.
Alright,
Successories.
Alright, thank you very much.
Salamat po sa Mary Kay and Diana Stalder at doon sa ating mga upuan.
Kay
Listeners.
Dr. Lilian Ibuen ng Total Body Dentistry.
Ayan.
Thank you very much.
Kala mo, ikaw lang ang may ngipin. Dentista ko din. Si Dr. Rachel Lakap. Maraming salamat po.
Alright, so ito po ang surgeon nyo.
Ate Cheska, ito po ang Success TV, ang bagong negosyo until next Saturday.
And so with that, we say, yes to success! Sakto na yan, eh? Ako ba talaga?